Okay, so part two. We're talking about the different shows and how it affects how we view races and ethnicity in society. Now, the first show I'm going to start off with Boondocks versus Simpsons because, as you all know, I do have a video called Why I Hate the Boondocks. And of course, I'm going to scrape over that once more. Boondocks. Now, when you look at shows like Boondocks, people say, "Oh yeah, it's social satire," and it's funny because they take these, these kind of stereotypes and they blow them to 1,000 degrees, and they make it funny so that you're saying, yeah, that's me, but it's funny because I guess I don't know why it's funny, but it is funny. I'm gonna tell you that shit right now. Just the jokes and the comedy in these shows, it's it's funny. Now, what people don't understand, because a lot of people was like, oh, it's just a cartoon, this, that, and the fifth. Now, this is a 14 plus. So say you're 14, you're watching a show. Even at 14, you still don't understand what propaganda is, or just overall misconception. I watched The Simpsons when I was younger, and I watched The Boondocks when it came out. And if you look at The Simpsons, they were also pretty, racy when it came to like the owner of the store, Apu, and his 9 kids and his wife, and um, the the doctor Hibbert. I'm not even sure if he was married. I don't even remember. But he was the doctor, and he was just always about the jokes. He was a jolly guy, and I never understood 100% his character. All I knew was that I don't know. I never really understood his character. He was just the relief, but more so, he was the token black in the show, which of course every white show needs a token black to make it seem like they're not racist. Because if you portray other races, just like Bumblebee Man is the Mexican of the show, and he's fucking weird. You got the white trash, of course. You gotta make it seem so you're not 100% racist. So you got the white trash, and if you think about it though, like even the white trash, even their family shit, like even though they were fucked up in the head, they still had their family shit on point. Like they were married, and he took care of the kids. Like he didn't like abuse them or anything. It was cute. You know. And then you have the jolly religious people next door, and I mean it was a pretty regular show. Nothing out of hand. Bart was pretty bad, but still, Lisa was the smarty pants, just like it's like the mirrors of Huey and Riley. One is the badass and one is the smarty. And the wife puts up with all the shit, and the husband is just retarded. I guess he works at a nuclear plant, but he still provides for his family. They have a nice house. They all that shit. Look at the Boondocks. The Boondocks. I have yet to see something positive about black people portrayed in the show. Seriously, I've yet to see like, oh, black people are they contribute in such and such a way, and this, that, and other. You got the white people in the Boondocks who get away with fucking murder. You know, try to steal Oprah and got away with it. It's just shit like that. You see black people like, yeah, man, we can't get away with shit like that. I've never heard in The Simpsons. I've never heard them, call each other crackers. I've never heard them um, cuss or anything like that. They were, pretty regular. The worst thing Bart ever said was like, "Eat my shorts." Um, that's crazy. And then I want to also touch on like everybody hates Chris versus Dawson Creek versus George Lopez. Now, um, everybody hates Chris is just about the same as George Lopez. You got the mother, the father, older brother, younger sister, and even younger. No, yeah, it's then brother and then sister. Whereas George Lopez, it's sister, sister, brother. Of course, I mean, even though I understand it's Chris Rock's own creation. It's that versus George Lopez, that's also his creation. Um, George Lopez lives in a house, you know, it's it's just like a bunch of hijinks basically going on, and you know, nothing racy ever happens. Like, any jokes that pertain to race are also out of George Lopez's own mouth. But you see how hard it is for a black person versus a Mexican in those shows. I mean, like looking at those two shows, you think black people had it the hardest, especially when you throw Dawson's Creek in the mix. Mm, and I decided to take Dawson's Creek out of that because it was mostly just white people having all kinds of sex and dramas and shit like that, and I don't believe that it would be right to equalize those two. Getting pretty tired. But I mean, it's always a one-sided deal. You fuck with the kids' minds, and then they grow up thinking a certain way, and then you kind of wonder why. Like, you could have raised your child yourself and put your own ideas in their head. You could have raised them the right way, and these kids grew up with a multiple personality functions and dysfunctions, and you know, your child could be the sweetest little angel at home, but then when they leave the house, they switch on to that nighttime altar. And they don't get that shit from you. They don't get that shit from their father. They get that shit from the television. You know? And yeah, I think I might go ahead and take a nap. But that's something to think on. I think one day I'll probably go back and better organize my thoughts. And come back to you guys. Good day.